So in the previous segment, as you know, we have introduced to you the concept of dimensional analysis. Now it's the time to see the applications of the same. Now the first application of the dimensional analysis is the conversion from one unit system to the another unit system. Now it says product of a numerical value n and its unit is the same throughout any system of units. You know that any physical quantity can be labeled as product of two things, the numerical value and the unit. So whenever you are transiting from one system to the another system, the product of the unit and the numerical value remains the same. So that means n into u remains the constant. So for one set of unit it is n1 u1, for another set of unit system it is n2 u2. So n1 u1 is equal to n2 u2. Now the most important part that I need to tell you, while you are transiting from one system of unit to the another system of unit, the dimensions of the physical quantities are not going to change, because dimension is going to define which physical quantity it is. So the physical nature of that quantity is not going to hidden by the change of system of units. So here this unit 1 can be written as m1 to the power a, l1 to the power b, t1 to the power c, because it has a different unit system, but the powers which are a, b and c are remaining the same in another system as well. So the another system has n2 times m2 to the power a, l2 to the power b and t2 to the power c. Now let's suppose in a question the system of units both are given to you, but the numerical value for one system is given to you, the n2 value that you need to find out. So in that case, what is going to happen? n2 can simply be written as n1 times m1 divided by m2 to the power a, l1 divided by l2 to the power b and t1 by t2 to the power c. And if you solve it mathematically, you will get the value of n2. So let's try to apply these concepts and figure out how this is going to have an application of dimensional analysis. Now on the basis of this, I have the first question. Find out the value of gravitational constant capital G in CGS system if in SI system G is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. So you can clearly see this is the numerical value and this is the unit that we have in the SI system. So let's try to solve this question. So we can write down all the values for the respective unit. We have the quantity as gravitational constant. Now the first thing, I need to find out the dimension of gravitational constant that we don't have. So for that we have gravitational force as G m1 m2 by r square, if you remember. Now the dimension of force must be equal to dimension of G multiplied with m square divided by l square. I hope this simple mathematics is very clear to you. Now tell me, what is the dimension of force? So gravitational constant dimension of force is simply mlt minus 2 multiplied with L square and divided with m square. So if I solve it up, this will simply be m minus 1, then it is L3, then it is t minus 2. So it is m minus 1 L cube t minus 2, the dimension of gravitational constant. Now the task is to see different dimensions we have. In one side I have SI system, in another side I have CGS system. Now in the SI system, numerical value is given as 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. Here the numerical value I need to calculate. Now in this SI system we have m1 as 1 kilogram, then L1 as 1 meter and T1 as 1 second. Now in the CGS system we have m2 as 1 gram, then L2 as 1 centimeter and then time T2 as 1 second. Now in this case you can clearly identify this over here. This is m to the power a, L to the power b, T to the power c, and from here you can clearly see that a value is minus 1, b value is 3 and c value is minus 2. So let's try to use these values in the formula that we have. So we can write down that N1 U1 is simply N2 U2. So from here, N2 value is simply N1 times M1 by M2 to the power A, then L1 by L2 to the power B, and T1 by T2 to the power C. Now in this system I need to find N2. N1 value I will substitute later on. So this is N1. Tell me what is M1 by M2. M1 by M2 is 1 kg by 1 gram. So this is 1 kg by 1 gram to the power A. Now A value is minus 1 over here. So this is minus 1. Then L1 value is 1 meter, L2 value is 1 centimeter to the power B, that is 3. So I can put it 3 over here. Now tell me what is T1. T1 is 1 second and T2 is also 1 second, and whole to the power will give me minus 2. Now if I solve it further, what I am going to get, N2 value is N1 times. Now tell me, 1 kg when divided with 1 gram will give me 10 to the power 3 whole to the power minus 1, multiplied with 1 meter divided by 1 centimeter, that is 10 to the power 2 whole to the power 3, and then it is multiplied with 1 to the power minus 2. And if I solve it further, what I am going to get? I am going to get N1 into 10 to the power minus 3 multiplied with 10 to the power 6. So we have simply N2 is equal to N1 into 10 to the power 3. Then I can substitute the value of N1, that is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 multiplied with 10 to the power 3, and I will have N2 is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 as the numerical value in the CGS system. And if I move forward and want to write down the final units, so what do we have? So we have N1 U1 as N2 U2. So you must remember that 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square is equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 dyne centimeter square per gram square. I hope the unit conversion is very clear to you. So that's how these kind of dimensional analysis are being applied in this question. So that's all in the question. Let's move to the next question. Calculate the value of 1 joule in CGS unit, that is ergs. Now on the same pattern we need to understand. Joule is actually the dimension of energy. So you must remember that is ml square T minus 2. So we have A value as 1, B value as 2 and C value as minus 2. So we have two different systems, the SI system and the CGS system. So in this system I have N1 value as 1 and here the N2 value I need to calculate. In this side I have M1 as 1 kg, I have T1 as 1 second, I have L1 as 1 meter. Now in this set of system I have M2 as 1 gram, I have L2 as 1 centimeter and I have T2 as 1 second. Now let's substitute all the values in the formula. So we have N2 is equal to N1 into M1 by M2 to the power A, L1 by L2 to the power B, T1 by T2 to the power C, and I can put all the values. N1 value is 1 joule. So tell me what is M1 by M2. M1 by M2 is 10 to the power 3 whole to the power. A value is 1. So this is 1. Then L1 by L2 is again 1 meter by 1 centimeter. This is 10 to the power 2 whole to the power again 2. And then I have second on both the sides. So this is 1 to the power C. C value is minus 2. So this N2 will come out to be 10 to the power 3 multiplied with 10 to the power 4. This is 10 to the power 7. So basically I have N2 is equal to 10 to the power 7. And then I can finally write it down that N1 U1 is N2 U2. So simply 1 joule is simply 10 to the power 7 ergs. This is the main essence of this unit conversion formula. That's how we can find out the unknown quantity. I hope the idea is very clear to you. So that's all in this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to continue with the applications of dimensional analysis for your better understanding.